Gerard Le Feuvre is one of Jersey's most distinguished musicians. He was born in the island and went to school here before winning scholarships to the Royal Academy of Music, the Banff Arts Centre, Yale and the Sibelius Academy in Finland. He has performed as a cellist across Europe and the Americas and founded the King's Chamber Orchestra. In 2000 he was made an associate of the Royal Academy of Music. Much of his work has been with young people, and he's especially well known for his children's concerts. He has a particular attachment also to his home island and wrote a special piece for the 2004 celebrations entitled The Rock, from which the anthem Island Home comes. But what inspired him?
Well, I came back to Jersey. I was obviously born in Jersey and then lived abroad and travelled over many countries with my cello performing and so on. But Jersey always had this pull, and I wondered whether I would perhaps retire to Jersey. But sadly, my father became ill and I started visiting every month, and I visited every month for 3 years. And every time I came, the pull of Jersey got stronger. And one day I went for a walk in St. Juan's Bay, and as I looked back at the island and how beautiful it was, and I listened to the sounds of the seabirds, I just wrote the melody of Island Home. It was really emotional experience. I cried like a baby. I poured my whole sort of heart into it, and I didn't know anything about the need for an anthem at that stage, and it was just my song for Jersey, really. So, but it was way out, looking back at the island from St. Juan's Bay, and it's really been nice tracing some of the sounds of the seabirds, because I took sketches and I wrote them out in a little manuscript book and wrote them all out melodically. And also at that time I was rather obsessed with the sound of a Jersey cow, and I've never finished a number of the pieces that I started at that time, but the first 3 notes of the anthem, 2 octaves lower, are pretty much the sound of a Jersey cow. So it's all there, mixed sort of, some of it consciously, some of it subconsciously. Yeah.
And why is it now, do you think, suitable for use as an anthem? What is it about the way it's written that makes it a good anthem?
It's a curious melody. It's hard for me to judge myself, but people say that there's an element of joy in it, an element of thanksgiving, and it's also quite dignified. An anthem has got to have a sort of dignity, hasn't it, in a way? But I do somehow, so people say, there's Jersey in it. And so I hope that it would in a way capture our hearts. In my original plan, I tried to write it as an exercise at first, but then it became a very emotional experience, as a melody that would stand together with some of the melodies that are already established as national songs in Jersey, as a sort of picture of unity. So you could sing Island Home, and you could sing My Normandie and Beautiful Jersey at the same time. And they would all have a different character. And in fact also a children's song that I wrote called Jersey Joy. All of these songs can be sung at the same time. But they all have a different character, and I suppose the character of Island Home would be one of, I hope, humble dignity, humble but strong. I like that sort of sense of quiet strength. I mean, Jersey itself, the rocks of Jersey, the granite, you know, that's so strong, isn't it? Such powerful kind of, but it's still, it's quiet, and I like to draw on the possibility that Jersey could be humble and kind and strong in its character. I don't know if that makes sense.
Now the recording involved one session with 450 primary school children. How did they get on with the anthem, and what was it like working with them?
Well, I was shocked when we originally involved primary school children singing the words of the anthem before it became the anthem as part of the rock. And I went round all the island's primary schools and watched the staff just crying. I mean, tears running down their faces. And I went home puzzled, thinking, well, what was all that about? I mean, it's nice that people would find the music that I wrote inspirational, but I think it goes beyond that. I think singing with thanksgiving in today's world is a bit of an absent force in our lives, and that touched a huge button, and none more so than in the children. So the enthusiasm of the children, now this was the greatest number of children that we've ever got together, and their enthusiasm was absolutely stunning. And as I went shopping in recent weeks, children would come up to me in the supermarket, and maybe their parents wouldn't know who I was, so they would, first of all, they would think, gosh, who's this, you know? And they would start singing my anthem, and with great pride, and I thought, wow, you know, just terrific. It's the most moving thing to see the island's children unified together, all excited and singing with thanksgiving for Jersey. Fantastic.
Now, you mentioned earlier some of the other songs that people are familiar with, Ma Normandie and Beautiful Jersey. And there is a sense in which those very popular songs continue to have a very important place in the hearts of many islanders. But the Island Home Anthem is something different and something to be used in a different context, perhaps.
It is, and of course, you know, I actually adore Beautiful Jersey, particularly the chorus. But Beautiful Jersey has a particular place. It's sort of established as a national song that is particularly meaningful to the occupation generation. So it's a little bit like Edelweiss in The Sound of Music. I mean, that was the most important song for the Austrians within the context of that film and so on in that story, but it still wasn't their national anthem. And I keep thinking about the English situation. I mean, when they established a national anthem in England, they didn't ban Jerusalem or Land of Hope of Glory or any of the other national songs that are just huge. I think Beautiful Jersey particularly is a song that is honoured, rightfully so, because it's had a particular role in the social history of Jersey, sort of gluing people together. And also, I think it probably means quite a lot to all the people that came on honeymoon to Jersey in the 60s maybe, I don't know. Although I think the song is more widely known now than it was in the 50s and 60s. Beautiful Jersey had its roots, was written by Annie Lennox, who is an English sort of music hall singer. And I understand that as a song it was also adopted by other towns in England. I don't know the full story there, I'd love to know. But I think Island Home is different in so far as it is written by a Jerseyman about Jersey, and there's nothing other than Jersey influence in it. And I think we need a bit of everything, really. I mean, Jersey's described as not quite British by one person, not quite French by another. We are unique, but we do have influences from France and England. So you've got Ma Normandie, somehow keeping alive a strong French connection, which I really enjoy. It's a beautiful theme. And you've got Beautiful Jersey, which has come from England. In a sense, a lot of people in England really adore Jersey, and that's almost like their gift to Jersey. And then Island Home is a Jersey-born product, as it were. I think it's also interesting that I didn't write the Island Home for the competition or anything. It was just my passion and my love of the island coming out. And I hope that there's a sort of sense that speaks through the music. Certainly the children have really felt that, and I've received nothing but incredible positive joy, really, in terms of post and emails and phone calls, and happily for me, that has spread around the world. I've had correspondence about the anthem, and people have absolutely loved it from New Zealand and from America, from right across the world, really. So that's very gratifying for me. You know, I don't kind of judge myself as a composer, but I certainly know one thing, and that is I love Jersey.